Welcome back to Mirror Image Co, the coaching and styling platform that helps you maximize your potential. Now today's video is on the 21st century high value woman. And high value woman, the term has been used mostly in the context of dating and relationships, and rightly so, but I wanted to broaden it to give young women, older women, girls, whoever may be watching this, some core and foundational principles that I feel are universal to all of us and can be applied by all of us, because it's not dependent on our personality type, it's not dependent on our background, our demographics, none of that. These are things that I feel that every woman can embody in her daily life. So let's get stuck in. So the first one is the high value woman invests in self-care, self-awareness, and self-acceptance. It's so key to know your strong points, your gifts, your talents, your things that you're naturally good at that you may not even pay attention to, but also to know your hot buttons so that other people don't push them, and also to accept yourself, to flaws and all, and to understand that everyone has flaws, and that when you accept yourself, you prevent yourself from giving your personal power away. You also prevent yourself from outsourcing your happiness to other people or your sense of approval to other people. But when you're self-aware as well, you know, okay, so I can take this opportunity because I will be of value there in terms of my gifts, what I can give. And so you end up making decisions that are based on that deep self-awareness, that deep knowledge of where you know that you will flourish and where you will crucially help other people. Next point is that she cultivates healthy relationships. Now for me personally, this is a relationship with God that helps me stay grounded in who I am and who He says He is and how I can navigate life in general. But it's also with your family and friends, and it's important to identify what a healthy relationship is in the first place. So once you have that idea, you can know who to allow into your life and who not to. And that leads on to my next point, is that a high value woman does not tolerate toxicity. Toxicity is not just the person who's aggressive, who's having a bad day, who's just in a mood. It's someone who continually and consistently undermines who you are, your confidence, your identity, your value that you bring if it's a project, your goals if it's an ambition beyond what they think you should have. And so it's so important to get rid of toxicity because it's a massive distraction and something that is designed to take you away from your purpose. Same thing with toxic environments. A high value woman removes herself from toxic environments. This goes for professional relationships as well as personal ones. So you have to have that standard across the board, and it takes time to learn that because we're not taught in school to identify the subtle ways that negative relationships can have a detrimental effect on our future. But it's so important that we educate ourselves and understand, if I'm not feeling positive, if I'm not feeling uplifted, if I'm not feeling challenged in a good way, if I'm not feeling held accountable in a good way, if I'm feeling judged after a conversation or an interaction, chances are you kind of need to leave that situation. That doesn't mean that you quit everything that's hard, and I'll come on later on to how to deal with trials. It just means that you're aware enough to not give your time and energy to something that's not growing you or other people. The next point is that she accepts compliments, because this is a big one for ladies. We tend to dismiss the compliment by saying, oh, it's makeup, you know, it's nice, it's an old dress, but accept the compliment, be graceful, allow it to sit within you and to sit within the fact that you may have known that already, but you're appreciative that somebody else has recognized what you bring to the table, whether it's an internal trait or an external trait. Now, compliments are not the same as flattery. Flattery is something that you do not want to entertain. Flattery is designed to get you to be more open and receptive, and to assume a level of knowledge and intimacy, and I mean mental intimacy, with an individual that just isn't there, because they eventually want to get you to do something, and they'll ask for a favor and they'll ask for this and that, but because they've sort of flattered you so much, you'll think this is it. But then you probably later find out that those kind of relationships are not built on a solid foundation, because if you say no, then the flattery stops. So use your intuition, and understand that usually a compliment is just something usually off the cuff and doesn't have an agenda behind it, and flattery is not. So the next point is that a high value woman does not compete, and she does not shrink back to make others feel comfortable. We've all been guilty of this in terms of shrinking back. But one thing I would say about competition is that women are, well, girls, no matter what age you are, you could be 15, 35, 55, 75, 85. No matter what age you are, girls who, and I mean that in the sense of someone who has an underdeveloped sense of self and sense of esteem of themselves, they tend to see other people's success and joy and blessings as something to take away from themselves. They have a scarcity mentality, which is extremely just dangerous, because you're not able to see the opportunities. You think it's all or nothing. If I don't get this and she gets that, then it's all or nothing. But actually, women who have a healthy sense of self, and whose mindset doesn't veer that way, and who have an abundant mindset, tend to think, well, there's enough for everyone. We can all succeed, and my blessings are generally your blessings. And so a high value woman thinks, if I'm in the company of women who are succeeding, that means I'm next, and that means that I can be happy and celebrate. That's how you lead rather than compete. And then she doesn't shrink back. So if someone is insecure because of your gifts, because of your very presence, because of your joy, because of how other people like you, because of how many opportunities you're getting, because of what they perceive your life to be and you to be, remember, it's all perception, then it's not your job to shrink back. It's not your job to not be who you are and not cultivate who you are out of fear. Then you're operating out of fear, and you're not operating out of service to help empower other people. You cannot let 1 or 2 people out of 8 billion people stop you living your purpose. So in that way, ignore the negative energy, have a laser focus on your purpose so that you can help others reach theirs. The next thing she doesn't do is she doesn't worry about what other people think of her. And I always think that worry in any context, not just about what people think of you, is futile meditation. It doesn't do you any good, and it creates scenarios that are don't even exist, that are unnecessary. And also it means that you're anxious and you're not present in situations. You're not able to see, okay, what am I supposed to do here? You're not able to listen to your intuition and listen actively. And so you may end up not making the most of an opportunity. You may end up missing an opportunity. You may not be operating from a place of rest. And I think it's so important to allow things that are way outside of your control, the number one thing being other people, to just be, and focus on what your locus of control is, which is what you read, how you spend your time, who you spend it with, yourself and what you do. All those things are what you control, and so it's best to focus on that. I remember reading or watching a video by Jay Shetty, who said that most people live a life where it's reflective of other people's perceptions of them that they perceive. So to break it down, he said, I am what I think that you think that I am. So I'll say that again. I am what I think that you think that I am. So all of this is hypothetical, just in the air assumptions, which are the biggest communication killers. And also it causes you to be inhibited in what you do and how you carry yourself. And so it's so important to not worry about what others think, but live with a grounded perception of yourself. Going back to my first point. So the next point is, a high value woman is well groomed at all times. This doesn't mean that you are, dressed to go to like the Met Gala every minute of the day. It just means that you're able to take care of yourself, and that you're well groomed, that you have the basic tenets of cleanliness, and that you're able to make yourself look presentable, whether you're going to the gym, whether you're going to the supermarket. It's not an opportunity for you to be like, oh, I'm going here so I can do this, and I'm not going there so I can just look any which way, because it's not for other people, it's for yourself. And it's developing a discipline so that when you do happen to attend an event where you do need to be more formal, then it's not a chore. It's not something that you see as, oh, I get to do this special thing. Life is to be celebrated. And so when you feel your best and you look your best every single day, you're making the most of the time that you have now, and you're living in the present now. And when you look your best, you tend to carry yourself better, and other people tend to be more receptive to the positive energy that you're putting out. And then the next point is that she actively listens, asks questions, and refuses to respond emotionally. Now, emotions get a bad rap generally. I don't think that it's wise to make any decision emotionally, but I do think that emotions have a use in the sense that they allow us to experience life, and also they allow us to know when our boundaries have been violated. So it's very crucial that we have them, whether by other people or by ourselves. And so, but they should not control your decision making. And so when you ask questions, you gather information rather than when you make a statement, when you're not learning anything new. And when you actively listen, you're listening to not just the words, but the emotion or the lack thereof, the tone, the body language, and the intent behind the words. And this requires practicing being really present in the moment, no matter how quick the interaction, no matter how busy the surroundings may be. It means that you are so present in the moment that you can maximize each of it. And this takes practice. Don't beat yourself up if you're not perfect at this, but practice it every time. Anytime you find yourself in your head, think, no, what is the other person trying to say to me? What is being conveyed? What do I understand from this? And you'll be more wiser in the sense of how you respond, and you'll be more patient in giving a response, and you'll be more confident in your response. The next point is that a high value woman allows difficulties to mold her character and to just help her become better. Difficulties are a part of life. They are different for every single person. It's all relative. However, they do happen to everyone. And so it's so important to develop that resilience. And notice all of these things you develop. No one's born with a magic spoon of, I know how to do everything. It's more of these are practices, these are developments. And so you have to live and go through trials, but also instead of asking, why is this happening? Ask, what is it teaching me? What am I learning here? Where are my blind spots that I didn't even know I had? What are the things that I need to see and cultivate about myself? Where do I need to pay attention? Or where do I need to get more investment in? What do I need to grow in that area of my life? And so use trials as if there is something always good to come out of that, because I can guarantee you that your resilience and the confidence and the tenacity that most of you have today is because of the things that you've been able to weather and come out even stronger. So don't see them as negative, see them as things that are propelling you to your next level. And the last thing is she's committed to growth. When you're committed to growth, it's a lifelong journey. And it's something that you will invest in, something that continues to change as your life evolves, as you take on different responsibilities, as you take on different projects and different assignments for each season of your life. But commit to it. It's a lifelong thing. And so I want to encourage you ladies to really get to know yourselves with those tips. Go back, replay this video, write it down, make notes, anything that you feel resonated with you, let it help you become your best self. And walk with your head held high, not out of snootiness, not out of, pride, but out of knowing that you belong here, you're here for a reason, and you have something that you can help, whether it's your next door neighbor, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's your workplace, whether it's your church, whether it's whatever. you can help somebody else. So always walk with a sense of conviction and knowledge that you have something valuable to bring. That is what a high value woman does. So I hope those tips have helped you. Visit our website, mirror-imageco.com. That's mirror-imageco.com. Check out our blogs and our Mirror Spotlight, which is our monthly highlight of things that we think will help you not only feel stylish but empowered. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.